Breaking news, there has been clarity provided around the pause on governmental assistance to individual programs that are being supported by the American government. Today, the brand new press secretary, I do not have time to even look this woman's name up, came out and said that President Trump is not cutting benefits to things like food stamps, although that is absolutely contrary to what was written and shared previously. Now, I made a video saying that this man is saying that he's going to do this, and I'm so thankful that there has been large scale public outcry from everyone out there against it. So now, thankfully, according to Miss Press Secretary, that is not going to happen. This is one source that I used. Here is another source that I used, and this is another source that I use, which none of that matters, makes no difference because no one cares about being right. All I care about is that the American people are not going to suffer, especially those who have the most to lose. That is what matters the most. It's a time we have to raise our voices and fight back against the things that are going to hurt those who have the least among us.
Hey guys, welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lumi, and today we're going to be looking at some TikToks about the food stamps and government assistance cuts. So, I don't know if you guys have heard lately, but it's been making rounds in the news that Trump has just signed some executive orders that are cutting back on government assistance, and I'm seeing a lot of like mixed feelings about the whole thing, like on TikTok. Like some people are up in arms about it, like, oh, how could he do this? This is terrible news. It's gonna hurt so many people who are already who are already struggling. It's like a big blow to very vulnerable groups of people. And others are like, well, it's about time, like people need to get up and work and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sort of just like, well, I think I'm kind of like with the mindset that, if you're like a if you're like a single mother with like three or more kids, and your full-time job is to just like raise these children and you've got no other help, like, okay, like food stamps, like that's I think you kind of deserve that, like because parenting is a full-time job, and you don't have time to look after like infants, babies, if they're not even in school yet. You can't and you can't afford daycare, like you can't work. Or, if you have no like parents to help you out, uh oftentimes, the grandparents will come and try to help their son or daughter with like watching the kids. If you don't have any of that support, it's like it can be really hard. It can be pretty brutal. So, yeah, but then like when you hear about the stories of like people who've been, in the system and like on these government programs for years, uh, and they're working like under the table at places, then it's like, okay, it's like, come on, dude. Like, you're clearly just like abusing this system, and it's put in place for, yes, people like you, but it's only supposed to be temporary. It's supposed to be like a, you know, let's get you out of this hole. Let's like, because you can't pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Like, let's like help you out here, get you back on course, and then that's it. Like it goes away, It's like like a little safety net. It's not supposed to be something that you like depend on for the rest of your life. Like that's not how it works. But I don't know. That's just me. Let's take a closer look at some of these TikToks. I don't know. Maybe I'll sing a different tune after I watch these, but let's go ahead and take a look.
So I'm a low-income girly. I've been on food stamps on and off for the better part of like 6 years. I moved out of my parents' house when I was 20, so I'm 26 now. So I've been on food stamps for about that long. Tell me why. I just got this letter in the mail, and I haven't been on food stamps for about 6 months because I got a new job like 5-6 months ago, and I knew I wasn't going to qualify. Tell me why I got this letter saying that I owe food stamps $2,095. What the They also don't give any options for like payment plans on here, or they didn't tell me why. They were just like, oh, just pay this balance or it's going to get taken out of your next year's tax return. And the letter came from the collection agency, the government collection agency of food stamps. Like, they have their own collection agency. Also, how evil do you have to be to work that job? Like, I just want to know. Like, most people who have food stamps are not, like, well off enough to even be paying $2,000. Like, most of them don't have $2,000 in their bank account. I know I sure as hell don't. Like, since when did food stamps become a loaning service? Since when do I have to pay this shit back? Like, I'm thinking about it and I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that I've gotten that much in food stamps. Sorry, my ring light died. They're making me pay back like the whole thing with almost no explanation. And like, they were supposed to apparently send me a letter because I looked at this up on Reddit to see if it had happened to anyone else. They were supposed to send me a letter about a hearing and all this stuff where I could appeal this. I didn't get any of that shit. I didn't get any of that in the mail. So I don't know what the fuck is going on. And before anyone wants to say shit, no, I did not falsify anything on my food stamps applications. I gave all my information to them. Obviously, I didn't, once I was done with my food stamps and couldn't qualify for them anymore. Obviously, I wasn't telling them about like the jobs I was working then, but because I was done with the program. But like while I was on food stamps, I reported all my income. I did everything right. So yeah, I'm fucking livid right now, obviously.
Man, that's rough. I mean, that's a lot of money. To just like one day get in the mail like, hey, you need to pay us all this money back. Like, that's no joke. 2 grand, jeez. But yeah, it sounds like to me she probably messed up somewhere, like in the forms or like the applications or something, or like the reporting. Because typically, like if you're not familiar, in the U.S., whenever you apply for like government aid, it's very much there's a lot of like bureaucracy behind it, you know. So there's like a lot of paperwork. You gotta like answer all these questions, fill out all these forms, and then when you're finally approved and on it, you usually have to like follow up like every month and say like, oh, this is where I'm at, like this is how much income I'm getting. You know, like you have to keep the government like well informed basically of like what your current living situation is like, financially speaking. So it sounds like to me, because she kind of like self-exposed herself a little bit at the end there. It sounded like she was not reporting like everything when she got a job, and maybe she was still like, maybe she was like, because sometimes like you'll get like a late payment or like you're behind on the schedule, and you think you're like you may have thought like you're out of it, but you're actually still in it. So she may have assumed somewhere that like, oh, she doesn't have to report anymore or whatever, when really she needed to, and maybe they sent her money without realizing, and and she used the benefits, but really it was like at a time when she couldn't collect, like she was making too much money or whatever it was. But yeah, point being is like whenever you do anything like official, like anything on an official document, like make sure you read all the fine print because believe me, I've been there. Like when I was younger and I was like first doing my taxes all by myself, I messed up big time, and the IRS came after me and they were like, "You owe us this much money." I think it was like $400 to $800 because I like I messed up with like something about my like student loans or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I basically like I was stupid. I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to do it myself, trying to save a few bucks, not hiring an accountant to handle it all. I think I did it on like TurboTax or something, and I completely screwed up. And yeah, I mean, even if you screw up like that, they're not gonna be like, oh, it's okay. Like, nope, you end up like having to pay out of pocket. Like you get fined. I think I was fined. Like it was money I owed and like a fine for basically like administrative fees for them having to like figure it out for me. But yeah, costly mistakes for sure.
So now if you work and you can get food stamps, it's a certain amount of hours that you have to qualify for. But now if you have a job, you can get food stamps. See, Trump know what he's doing. He got a lot of shit going on. He know how to rock it up. He know how to like just make. Now I'm not mad at it. Now I'm not mad at it because we've been asking for food stamps. Just because we're in a working household, that does not mean, you know, everyone should be qualified for food stamps. And this is good for people that is working because they do help out. So I'm not mad about it. But it's like he know what to do. And that's the thing when he be doing them stimmies. He likes to throw us a shut the fuck up. Don't look. Be blind to what I got going on. This is that don't look, be blind. Now he's allowing food stamps. Trump is giving workers food stamps. And I'm not mad at it, but I know what it is. That's a stimmy. You're telling us you want us to be blind, and we're not blind. We're not blind. Because it used to be once you start working, and now that we found that you're working, we take it from you. But now he's trying to give it back. I'm not complaining, but I know what you're doing. But I still take it. Thank you.
Yeah, so I keep hearing that he's basically rewarding people who make the effort to go work. So like I guess before if you were not working and obviously you're not making income, so you apply for food stamps, um you would get it, right? And once you started working and making money, they would take it away. But now I'm hearing that like what Trump's doing is if you're not working, you don't get it. But if you're working and you're obviously not making enough to survive, because you're working like I don't know at McDonald's or something, um, now he's like, okay, you can get some benefits because it's like and I get that it's like you're trying to provide to like contribute to society, right? And it's like why would you get punished for like trying to be useful and work, right? Like, so I kind of agree on this. Like, I don't agree on the part where it's like, you're kind of like punching down. You're hurting people who really do depend on this stuff, and maybe they're like disabled and they can't work, right? Like, I hope it's not hurting those people, but to the people who have been abusing the system for far too long, I think it's a wake-up call. And I don't know. I mean, I kind of see where he's coming at, or where he's coming from, so that we don't support like the freeloaders, you know, because I mean that's not right. Like, I mean, think about it. That money comes from people who work. Like, why should I work hard to and pay taxes for people who are just gonna like collect a check and do nothing all day? Like, that's stupid. All right, I think I'm going to wrap this video up here, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to make a part 2 on this because I've got a few more TikToks I want to share with you all. As always, if you like the video, please like it, give me a thumbs up. If you dislike it, dislike it. Let me know in the comments down below. Tell me what you think, or if there's anything you want me to cover next. And consider subscribing if you enjoy this sort of thing. But anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. See you.